You know that one's going in now. Here are the masterminds behind the U.S. strategic relationship with Israel. The biblical connection, the truth, reality on the ground. Each and every one of you, if you have not yet come to Israel, reach out to Ruth and Sarah, the Yes Israel Project. Unbelievable stuff. We are off to the Jordan Valley and the Golan Heights with Congressman Jordan and Congressman Johnson. This is going to be a good day. Here we are for dinner at a cowboy ranch. Well, that's what the restaurant's called. Here we are walking in the paths of the patriarchs here in Tel Beersheba. We are off to the tomb of the patriarchs and the matriarchs. Holy place. Here we are, about to walk up to the Temple Mount with Congressman Johnson and Jordan. Unbelievable. The holiest place in the world, together with Congressman Jordan and Congressman Johnson. Aria University now, with the Congressman, learning about the cybersecurity school here in the Sumerian Hills. I am so blessed to be going into ancient Shiloh with Paley. To end this whirlwind of a fabulous trip with Congressman Jordan and Johnson, we're going to meet the U.S. Ambassador.
Oh, so the tennis court in the backyard? Yeah.
When was the last time you put on a jacket?
Only for you and the president.
These people who you see behind us, we are all part of history, not just for the Jewish people in the state of Israel, but for the United States of America and the whole freedom-loving world. Leaving the U.S. Embassy after a meeting with U.S. Ambassador David Friedman, who is at the epicenter, and talking to fabulous friends, the congressmen, who are standing up for the freedom-loving world and for a strong U.S.-Israel relationship, with Ruth and Sarah of the Yes Israel Project making this all happen. This is historic, folks. History is happening before our eyes. We must be grateful. We must say thank you. How can you not see it? Unbelievable.
I remember the day, I remember John Hagee reciting a prayer. I remember the opening, I remember David Friedman removing the plot. It was just, you saw moments where you felt you're part of biblical events.
Yeah.
The Embassy of the United States here in Jerusalem, the capital of Israel.
This is history. People making history for the whole world. America, Israel, the whole freedom-loving world.
Out of the Iran deal, recognition of Jerusalem, embassy in Jerusalem, Golan Heights.
What do you say, Congressman?
All right, this is nice.
What do you say?
We'll like it. That's the first settlement like that in some time, and very strategic. Yeah, it needs some blinking lights and a little more gold, but I think that it's obviously a great gesture of respect for the president that the Prime Minister decided to name it in his honor, and it's fitting, and there's a lot of excitement there, enthusiasm by the people who are building that community out, and they just see tremendous potential.
And now the deal of the century, plan of the century, he is a special leader, and it is great to see the closeness of our two countries.
And the new Trump deal specifically says all will be able to pray on the Temple Mount. Today, going up with two official representatives of the United States of America. The United States of America being the first country that recognized the state of Israel. It was also the country that was established on the basis of the Bible. So for me, it was really a very special experience. Of course, we mentioned the problems. We mentioned the fact that the policemen are always hushing us and rushing us, and the fact that the people have to leave their Bibles or can't carry their Holy Bible on Temple Mount. But when I compare it to where we were just a few years ago, we've made a major progress, and we have a lot to express thanks to God for. And we hope that it'll be a message to the world that the Temple Mount is a peaceful place, and it should be a house of prayer for all nations, and it should be the origin of the Word of God to the world.
There is no better friend of the state of Israel than President Donald Trump.
I live up on this mountain over here, and I live in the biblical heartland. When I was watching, the deal of the century and President Trump speaking about my connection to my land, my dream is to one day meet President Trump to thank him in person. But if you can thank him on my behalf.
I want to say thank you for your government and to you also, that Trump make Israel great again. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We admire the current administration and President Trump for all the important decisions concerning JCPOA, the embassy, of course, recognizing Jerusalem, the Golan Heights. Now, our historical, biblical, moral rights on Judea and Samaria. It's like a dream comes true.
We're hopeful in the days ahead that this can be a framework for peace that really will be lasting, and finally to allow the Jewish people, to allow Israel its rightful ownership of this land.
Here we are in the Shomron. What's the name of the factory?
Ofertex.
Ofertex here in the Barkan industry. Congressman Johnson and Jordan are learning about the coexistence of the Jews and the Arabs and Muslims who work together here. The congressmen are here in the Jordan Valley, the beautiful Jordan Valley, at a packing plant for vegetables and spices, and they're seeing how coexistence exists here in the Jordan Valley, where the Jews live and we have businesses and we employ local Arabs who live here, and the Jews and the Arabs work together.
When we were in Ariel, I believe area, we saw at the industrial park, we saw Jewish people, Palestinian people, Israeli citizens, and Palestinians all working together. And making a great product that's sold around the world. And the idea that, that somehow that something bad's happening there is just ridiculous.
You hear in the U.S. about how the Palestinian or Arab people are, oppressed in these areas and they have these terrible lives, and none of that is true. We didn't see any of it. It's quite the opposite. People seem to be thriving, working well together. The various parts of the country and throughout Judea and Samaria where we went, there's this great cohesion of the people, with Jewish people and the Arabs together, the Palestinians, Israelis working together, literally working together, celebrating together, as going to family events together. And then they have this extraordinary economic growth and development going on here, which shows the Palestinian people that, that there's something to this. And so I think the people who are closest to the situation have the most tolerance, and the people that are furthest on these college campuses in the U.S. who are getting fake news. Can I use Trump's phrase, fake news, right? That's what they base these decisions on, and they need, if they could be here and see this, if everybody had the opportunity to take one of Ruthie's trips, to see this for themselves, it would make a huge difference, I think, in perception.
For the Palestinian workers, just the same as Israeli workers. So the minimum salary here would be the same as a factory in Tel Aviv. The cheapest worker cost us $2,000. $2,000. You can imagine that our competition is goods coming from China and Pakistan and India.
Thank you very much about your visit. It's a very important visit because these days we stand together against the lies, the war of lies.
We have appreciated the hospitality here, and we are greatly concerned about the blacklist, as everyone here is as well. It's unfair, it's unjust, and there are a lot of members of the United States Congress who would stand against that, and we look forward to helping to voice those concerns when we get back to Washington, and we're really glad that we got to see it for ourselves.
I'm with Johnson.
We met with ministers and high officials in the government, and to hear their perspectives on many of the things that we are working on back in the United States Congress was just really encouraging and powerful, and we have lots of messages to bring back home.
I want to thank Ruth, Sarah, Avi, and everyone here who brought those important, influential leaders from Congress. For us, for the Israeli government, it's very, very important that leaders from all around the world, especially from our biggest ally, the United States of America, would come here to experience with their own eyes what's happening here, the reality of the brave settlers here, to how to encourage the coexistence with the Palestinians. This is something that is strengthening the state of Israel. It's strengthening the United States of America. Thank you all.
Thank you. We have our guests here telling us that they're so happy to be here because they don't usually come to these beautiful sites. Special place.
Well, we regard Israel as being our closest and most important ally. I think I could speak for many members, if not most all the members of the United States Congress, and it's been a great honor to be with you, and we know how busy you are, and this has meant a lot to us. It's been very educational, and we're going to bring this message back to our colleagues for sure.
Congressman Jim Jordan and Congressman Mike Johnson just left to meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. So looking forward to hearing about that, but won't be able to tell you about it or any of the details, but that's it. Looking forward to a great day. Here we just visited the tomb of the patriarchs and matriarchs in the holy city of Hebron, connecting with the Jewish heritage, and here you see me, New York-born Jew. You just listened to Yishai Fleischer, who lived in New York. Ruthie, you're meeting all these Jews who have returned to their homelands. What are the thoughts in your head where you see American Jews who are here living in Israel, connecting with the heritage of the Jewish people?
It's so meaningful for us who just appreciate our Judeo-Christian heritage, but to be here with Jews who are our friends from our homeland and to experience it with you guys makes it all the more special to us. And my wife, as you saw, she was moved to tears inside of there because of what it means to us, and we're a relatively young attachment to the faith, right? So it just makes it all the more special. So we're glad we could be with you guys.
It's been an amazing trip. What's this, our 4th day, I think. 5th time in Israel, 3rd time here to Shiloh. And it's amazing to see the changes that are happening. I guess it's been probably 4.5 and then 6.5 years ago when we first came. So, you know, it's obviously the story of Hannah and what she prayed for and God answering her prayer. This is a special place to all kinds of
I personally like to encourage people to come and visit. It just brings the Bible to life and just the land. I mean, people are so welcoming. Everybody that's shared in our trip. It's been very memorable. Always will be.
Oh my goodness. I can't say enough. It's been, we were both overwhelmed. Just everything we've been able to see and all the wonderful people here to meet. It's been incredible.
And great insights into different places that they've been able to take us. Sarah put their heart and soul into this ministry, and we're really grateful to be a part of it. I think one of the highlights for me was just being in the hills of Judah, in Judea. I mean, there's no big monuments there, but that's kind of what they did. To know that the future King David walked around there was just really meaningful. We could go spend a whole day there, but they crammed so much into these trips. We have no time for that. We'll have to come back to it again.
I think we'll both go back changed. Most definitely.
We had tremendous hosts, Ruthie Lieberman and Sarah Paley and their Yes Israel group. This is the 3rd or 4th trip I think Polly and I have done with them, and the 5th time we've been to Israel. So all in all, 4.5, 5 days just flew by, but it was a lot of fun and just an amazing week.